The ball tank, and we are getting really close to finish this up. And one thing I did is I took the figure, good old Helga there, off the painting base, and I got her on the base. Now I like to attach, once I get all like the colors blocked in on almost any subject, and I'm putting it on the base, I like to stick it on the base. That way I can be a little more careful when I paint and everything. You know, you're less likely to, you know, screw up or anything, and you can help, it helps with the weathering too. You can see where she needs to have, you know, dirt on her boots and, you know, just little things like that. So I got her glued on the base. I got her hand super glued to the barrel, and if you can see real close, I took some Avi's epoxy sculpt. Now I'm not a sculptor. I did sculpt some, I basically sculpted her rest of her hand, added some indentions for her fingers and everything, and then put a wash on there. I got to do a little more dry brushing on there, but it should bring out where she's, you know, feeling the bore of the weapon. Then I went in and put in the, I went ahead with the traffic flags. They're red and yellow. I just got the base colors on there. I'm going to put a little wash on there to get that took care of for the shadows, and do a little dry brushing. Now, I am not a figure painter, and I got to point that out. I do things a lot different than the figure painters. What I do is I put the base coat on the figure itself, and I do a lot of washes. I'm more, and I always preach style. So if you look at people's, you know, models that they build, you can see the style. Mine's in figures. I do a lot of washes. I mean, I do a lot of filter washes after filter wash, and then I go in and dry brush. I don't actually go in. I don't like to do it. I know you're supposed to or have to, you know, but you do like the folds, you know, the you know, highlights like that. I do a little bit of dry brushing, and I think it works out well for me, and it gives me my style, and my style alone makes it look, I'm more of the worn look, if you like, best way to explain that. But anyway, I got to go in with some clear coats and you know, tone everything down. But I did get her pretty much painted. I got her armband painted, and technically, if you look real closely, there's like a triangle on there, and I think it's supposed to be like a P on the right dead center. So I got to do, you know, little fine painting work, but she is taking shape. A little more to do on her strap to get it more defined on her weapon there. But anyway, painted belt buckles, highlighted her skirt, boots. I don't know if you can actually see it. Got them mostly painted, and I started putting some dust on there. She's uneven on the ground, so what I'm going to do, where is it? I'm going to go into the, get some pigment and some pigment binder, and we'll take a, basically a little brush here. I'm going to put some dirt around her boot and everything, build it up just a tad, and dust it off with some pigment, and we'll be good to go. And then I'm going to add some dried leaves just around a few little places, just to hide a few things and to give a little more texture on the groundwork. But anyway, she is taking shape. So anyway, we're getting real close. I'll probably try to finish it today. If not, it'll be tomorrow, and then we will wrap it up. And I'm going to take a break because I stuck it up on here, and that's the mono wheel. It's just, it needs to be scribed and painted, which I'll get to that. But there's another project I want to tackle first, and we're going to do that next week. But there was something else I wanted to build, and I happened to see a picture of it, and that was the ISIS shopping cart. This was in this year in Syria. Someone took a picture of it. I can't pronounce it, but that's actually a Russian called the Diska, or it's like DSKA or something like that. That gun's been around since, you know, World War II, that the Russians made. But anyway, they put that weapon inside the shopping cart, and I mean, he can carry his ammo and everything. And I'm almost tempted to build this because I'm about to talk myself into it, because you can get a 35th scale shopping cart from Holler, and it'd be real close to getting a figure. I wouldn't make it totally exact. I'd like to have him like standing next to the gun, but I can get the gun too. Zvezda makes a World War II kit, which the very little mod there that you gotta do for the make it modern. But anyway, shopping cart, you know, look at all the concrete little dioramas you could do. That's just that's right up my alley. Now I gotta say, I don't condone ISIS, ISIL, whatever you want to call them, but I do like their choice in vehicles. Oh, what happened here now? But anyway, I'm just about talking myself into doing that. So we may build the ISIS shopping carts. So anyway, that may be up next. Who knows? Anyway, I got another project. I'll show y'all next video because I got to clean off my workbench after I get the ball tank done, because I got 25 bottles of paint on there to paint one figure. So anyway, that's what I've got going on today. We are painting along on good old Helga here, and we may do the shopping cart. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.